The Valley is filled with so much diverse talent. Recently, I sat down with Randy Doney. He began his career as a dancer. He's been on Broadway and on TV, The Gary Moore Show, The Carol Burnett Show, even the Palm Springs Follies, and the list goes on and on. We started out with how his career began.
It just happened. When I started 10 years old, started dancing, started playing the piano, and a lovely lady started teaching dancing in my grammar school. Her name was Mildred Edwards. Later on, it was Mildred Edwards School of Fine Arts, which was great because I had ballet, tap, jazz, all that character dancing, all that kind of stuff, acrobatics. And in a little house in Chicago, and you had to be careful when you did tricks because there's a big beam across the top, you'd hit your head, you know.
And that could hurt.
And that's how I started that way.
But did you do that because you thought that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, or was it just something to do at the time?
Well, maybe it's because I think the piano music, my family liked music. I think my father, if I remember, played by ear a little bit, you know, and I just enjoyed moving to music. I guess I was that kind of person.
So how was it that you took that and turned it into a career? What was your first paying job?
The first real paying job was My Fair Lady in Chicago, the national company, and I came to dance class one day and the teacher said, "There's an audition tomorrow. You're going." Boom, you know, it was like that. I go, okay. I hardly remember rehearsals, but the show itself, I mean, it was the most famous show of its time in 1958 it was, 1958, yeah.
How do you parlay that one first paying job into the next, into a career?
So I stayed with the show for a year and made friends in the show, and a lot of them left, singers and dancers, whatever. And one friend said, I'm going to New York, and if I hear of a show that you might be good for, I'll give you a call. In the meantime, I had left My Fair Lady, went back to Chicago. He gave the phone call. He said, there's a thing called Green Willow, and you'd probably be right for it. So I packed up my things, went to New York. Now my New York career started for 6 years. Television started, then I did television with Julie Andrews and Carol Burnett at Carnegie Hall. Now I got to perform in Carnegie Hall with these two people. It was insane. My first real big television show. So when I did this Julie and Carol Carnegie Hall, the choreographer was Ernie Flatt. And he came to me one day and said, one of our guys is leaving. He's going to do a Broadway show. Would you be interested in being on the Gary Moore Show? Faint.
You had to think about it.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, really. Yeah. Give me a minute.
So you go from the Gary Moore Show, and that's how you met Carol Burnett. And then, who would have thought? Years later.
Years later, then she started her show on television for 11 years. I was there.
Mr. Tugwall, that's all finished now. All you have to do to get into your office is to press the little button underneath your secretary's desk.
You know, I saw the clip, and I think it was you. I think it had to be you. You played a plant.
With Tim Conway.
Can I drop a few names?
Drop.
All right. Wow. Well, Julie and Carol, you mentioned. Mitzi Gaynor, Mary Tyler Moore, Perry Como, Alan King, Tim Conway, George Burns. You were on Oscar shows, on Rock Award shows, on Entertainment Hall of Fame shows, David Copperfield. You've been on Alice, Fantasy Island, Love Boat, Johnny Carson. That's just a phenomenal career.
To name a few.
Just to name a few. Is there one or two people, I know you keep in touch with Lucy Arnaz because you
Lucy lives here now. She's
right, but you worked with her mom.
Started on that Gary Moore show, worked around the Carol Burnett show, and then I did Mame, the movie Mame with her.
Your connection to the desert is strong. Tell me about the Follies, because I think this is kind of an interesting story of how you got to be part of that.
When I moved here in 1999, it was 1998, 99. A friend of mine who was in the show said, "Oh, we just lost a guy. We just opened, and this guy hurt his leg and everything. Are you interested in doing this show?" And I went, "Sure, why not?" So I came in for the interview with Mr. Markowitz, the director, the producer, and all that. And he liked the way I was dressed. But he said, you know, we have old people here in the show, because everybody was above 55 and up into their 80s. And we'd take 3 months to learn all this stuff. Do you think you can do it? I said, well, I'm still active. I'm doing my thing. And he said, well, all right, let's give it a try. So went to work on Monday to learn my stuff. Tuesday went into the show. And he went, oh my God, you know. And now, for reality, I didn't learn everything, but I learned enough to be in the show. And as the week went on, then I learned everything. And then I spent 15 years there.
Well, what a trip for me to hear from you.
Thank you.
About your career.
Any more, we'll do it again sometime.
Wonderful.
There's another chapter. Thank you so much, Jill.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you.
Appreciate it.